Hello everyone and welcome to my corner of the world, and today I'm bringing you an autumn themed offset gatefold card, and I'm featuring this Caring Leaves stamp set, which is a photopolymer one, and you'll see in a moment that it's designed in such a way to give you these lovely different depths of colour in your stamping. So as I say, it's an offset gatefold, and I started with this piece, with a piece of pebbled path, and it's 11 by 4 1/4, and I didn't know what sort of how much offset I wanted. And so the first thing I did was to say, okay, what would like an inch look like? Let's pull this down so as you can see. And I thought, no, an inch is a bit mean. Well, what about 2 inches? Well, that could work, but it's a bit wide for what I want. So I think I went in the end for 1.5 inches. Let me just check. Oh no, I went for 1 3/4 inches. So I kind of, okay, and so I put my score line in here, and you can use this method to design sort of any offset card. Well, there's my if you like, my return, and then I need this next piece to be 5.5, because the finished size of the card is going to be 5.5 by 4 1/4. So if I just put that fold on 5.5 and then score, when I fold that over, making sure everything lines up, there I've got a nice offset, and that's really all I did. Then we're going to build up some layers. So I chose to use this packet here, and it's called Iconic Celebrations, and I have used it on some projects that I've shared with you before, and you can see that it kind of has sort of autumny Valentines, there's pumpkins, there's snowflakes, there's pink Christmas, trees. This would be great for New Year. I'll try and make a New Year card with that one, I think. Nice one with checks. So I chose to use the one, because this is autumn themed, I've used the ones with acorns. So I've got my strip here, and I want to layer it onto another colour. Now, I ummed and ahed about what colour I wanted to use, and you know, I desperately wanted to use this gorgeous Blackberry Bliss gold edged ribbon, and I thought, well, we traditionally think of sort of like rust colours and maybe orangey colours for autumn, but I thought, well, why not go for you know, a different sort of red. And then I looked to see, well, if I got a neutral that would go with it, and that's when I thought, well, this makes a nice combination, and it goes really well with this piece of paper. So I have just cut the 2 pieces slightly smaller than my piece of card. So we said that particular fold was, let me bring my adhesive down. That particular fold was 1 3/4 inches. So I've cut my Blackberry Bliss layer 1/8 of an inch smaller. So that comes out at 4 1/8 by 1 5/8, and I can hear you groaning. I can hear you groaning with those 8s, but you can find them easily on your cutter. And if you've got a Stampin' Up cutter like this one, they're even easier to find, because there's your half, there's your quarter, and there's your eighth. So there's an eighth, 2/8, 3/8, 4/8, which is a ½ inch. So it's easy to cut them if you've got your cutter machine. So then I've cut the piece of decorative paper an 1/8 of an inch smaller, so it's 4 by 1.5. So that gives me a really nice, narrow, dainty, elegant border, which is what I was kind of going for. So a little bit of adhesive like that. So there's my one panel done and dusted. And so now we're going to do the front panel. Now I've cut my 2 pieces of card ready like that. And the first thing I'm going to do is make sure that I've got this piece of vanilla going in the right direction before I start stamping. So I need to make sure that the longer side is sort of, they're going that way, and the shorter side is going that way, if that makes sense. So as I say, I'm using Caring Leaves, and this has got a couple of nice greetings. I'm going to use You're Simply the Best. The other one says Some Things Never Change. So what I do when I'm going to stamp my greeting directly onto my card front, rather than, you know, add it with another piece of paper, I'm just going to stamp that bit first. So to take the pressure off, I'm also going to just stamp it at an angle. So now I haven't got to worry about lining it up, making sure it's level, making sure it's in the middle of my piece of card, you know, whatever goes through your mind, I don't have to think about that. Makes it so much simpler. So I'm going to just get a little piece of paper to work on, and I'm going to start my stamping. So there's basically 2 stamps for each. You could just do the outline. Let me just show you. If you could just do the outline, and it looks really good. Or you could just do the filler, which looks really good. And it's supposed to be like that. I know that some people look at that and think, oh, there's not enough ink on it, it must be faulty. It's supposed to look like that. It's sort of a stamped off without being stamped off, if you see my meaning. So I'm going to use them together. And whether you stamp the sort of inside bit first or the outline, is whatever works for you. I must say that I prefer to do the outline first. And it's really easy to sort of to do the filling, because you've got this is see-through, so it's easy to line up. So there's that part, and then we're going to do just ink up there, and all I'm going to do is just sort of line up, and you can just see those veins in the stamp there. I'm just going to look for them on the bit I've already stamped, and I'm not necessarily looking for it to be exactly lined up. This, you know, this is supposed to be fun after all. And then this one I've kind of just got at another angle. So there's that. And I'm going to set that aside for a minute, and I'm just going to do a piece for the inside. Now then, I know I had some cut pieces up here, Here they are. There. Let's see, is that the right size? Yeah, so that's 5 1/4 by 4. That's my bit that I'm going to write my to you, love from me. So I just like to have a little stamp inside like that. And then I'm just going to do my filler. There we go. And so there's that bit done as well. And now, so that's my Blackberry Bliss. Now I'm going to turn and use my pebbled path. Right. Now, when you stamp with this colour, it kind of looks a bit off or different. And I'll show you against the cardstock in a minute and you'll be able to see what I mean. So let's see. It's a lot darker. Can you see? It looks a lot darker. But when it dries, it dries to the same shade. So don't be sort of concerned that your ink isn't working properly. And then I'm just going to do these 2 fillers. And then this last little bit here. Now I've got my nice autumn leaves in slightly unusual autumn colours. I've got another piece of that Blackberry Bliss. Again, I've cut this so that it's going to give me, it's like 1/8 bigger, so I've got a 1/16 of an inch border. And that's one of the reasons I like using liquid glue when I've got these very, very fine borders, because it just gives you an opportunity to just sort of smoosh it around just to get it lined up. Now my ribbon. This is gorgeous ribbon. And I'm just going to lay a piece across like this. And I'm sure you've seen me do this technique before. I call it my faux knot technique because I haven't got ribbon running the whole way around my card because you wouldn't be able to see it, and that's a bit of a waste. And if, like me, you send a lot of cards internationally, it adds extra weight. I'm just going to do that. Oh, a little bit of tape. Smoosh that down. There. And then to overcome any bulk that presents, I like to attach it to my card base with some of these dimensionals, these double-sided sticky pads, and because I think it just gives it again a bit more of a lift, and we won't have sort of a bulky bit waiting or lifting up. Let me just push that out the way. Now we're going to pop this bit on the front of our card like that, and we've got our To You, Love From Me layer, which we're going to add inside like that. And then a couple more bits to finish off. So I'm going to slide this under here and just tie a simple knot. And this way, it looks like the piece of ribbon goes all the way through, all the way around the card. And we all know that if you try to do that, you can never get a nice tight piece of ribbon. It always will look a bit on the baggy side. Now, I got 2 lots of embellishments. These are, they're like mesh. They're little golden leaves. Look at that. I'm just going to give it a little bit of a pinch along its length. And then I'm going to use a glue dot. And I'm going to stick it underneath my knot, like that. And then I'm going to pop my little mesh leaf down on it. And then I'm just going to pop another one on top. And that way it'll stop the knot and the leaf moving, like that. And my final flourish is these. So they're called Regal Foiled Adhesive Dots. And when you look at them, look, they've got little flecks of gold in, which is picked up by my ribbon and my leaf. These are Blackberry Bliss. I'm trying to think what that blue, we've got so many blues, and then we've got, and I think this is like garden green. But anyway, it doesn't matter what they are just perfect for my project. So we'll pop one over here, and then we'll do one in this little gap there, and maybe another one over there. And then I think we are done. So let's just clear the decks and share with you my 2 cards with an autumn theme, but with not really particularly traditional autumn colours. Well, I do hope you've enjoyed this one. If you have, perhaps you'll go ahead, give me a thumbs up. Any comments, you can pop below. Any questions, you can also pop below the video as well, and I'll look forward to seeing them and answering them if necessary. I'd like to thank you very much for choosing to spend some time with me today. I really appreciate that. And I will look forward to seeing you next time with another card idea. Thanks, and bye-bye for now.